Hello again, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing part 2 of the alternate future series. This is another one where everything's really just getting closer and closer to the next part, which is probably going to be where the first big war is. So I hope you guys enjoy, and let's get started. So first thing that happens here is a bit of a unification. That is a unification here in basically just here in Central America. And that is all these countries. None of them are doing well except for like Panama and Costa Rica and Guatemala. So we see a few things happening. Oh, and Belize stays out of it, but we see Guatemala joining Mexico. We see Honduras and Nicaragua do the same. We see El Salvador stay out since Honduras joined. Belize, well, if you didn't know, they were colonized by the British. Costa Rica and Panama are doing fine, but these three countries, especially Guatemala, had tanked in economy recently and decided to just join together with Mexico to try and make that better economy. The next thing to happen here is, Venezuela still exists? Let's fix that. Border dispute, oh no. Guess who hates Venezuela? There we go. Isn't that better? And then we can just go, boop, Brazilian troops enter the south, Guyanan troops, Colombian troops, and, wait, what, Venezuela's pushing back? Oh, but the Americans are here, boop. And just like that, Venezuela doesn't exist anymore. And I bet the Americans wish they could do the same thing with Cuba, but sadly they are too late, as Cuba has now joined a new Russian alliance between Cuba, of course Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, Armenia, Mongolia, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and yes, Uzbekistan chooses to stay out. North Korea joins, so does Iran, Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. So yeah, that's a good portion of the world now under like Russian influence, I guess you could say. But hey, could be worse. You could be Venezuela, who I'm now about to draw in the borders for, and it's really not going to be good for them. And of course I forgot to do that. There we go. First things first, Colombia takes a good portion of northern Venezuela, which is very important. Brazil takes a good portion of the south, but Venezuela doesn't really care about that. Guyana just gets some land along the border, and Venezuela is now an American puppet, which is used like solely for their oil. That is the fate that has now succumbed to the country of Venezuela. Now their economy actually starts to do better, and they themselves start to do better, but honestly, I'm not even sure the people of Venezuela would mind this. Being under American control sounds horrible, but their economy has already doubled. It's been only a couple months. The people have more liberties. The government has less control. So hey, maybe this isn't too bad for all those Venezuelans. Of course, they lost a ton of land, but I don't know if it was worth it for them. They probably could have overthrown their government soon enough. And now for the big war, it's going to be, try and guess the continent. No. Actually, let's keep it as a surprise until the end. The next thing we see happening is kind of a divide here in Europe, where everyone kind of just decides ethnicities are more important. Let's unite. Austria and Germany, first up. Yes, I know, treaty, whatever. They speak German and they decide to unite. Switzerland surprisingly stays out of this treaty. Germany, Italy, and France are going to carve them up. But in the end, Switzerland manages to maintain its sovereignty due to its neutrality, due to its great economy and all of that. Belgium, though, can't say the same. And neither can Luxembourg, with both of these countries being split among Germany, France, and the Netherlands. A lot of the people here aren't happy about that, but, well, there's nothing they can really do, so And there we go. That's all done now. We can finish putting in these new borders. And with that, we have a new German-French, and Benelux is now just kind of the Netherlands, but the lowlands are still about this area. So after the split of Belgium, the annexation of Austria, we see Europe being more united. And now I'll put up the war of the video once again in Africa. It is a war between these countries. Guess how it starts? Actually, no. It starts like that, then that, and that. This is our new war. Looks horrible for Morocco, but guess who wants some land? Egypt. We see Egypt joining in. And with this, Libya really doesn't stand a chance now, do they? Egypt begins to push into Libya, while Tunisia starts to get destroyed, really. They won't last much longer, but they'll be brought back eventually. Morocco, if you didn't know already, controls a good portion of Western Sahara. About this much. And, yeah, that's about it. We do see some other countries joining into this war, which are pretty influential. And one of those is France. France hates losing their influence. And they lost it in Algeria, and they want it back. So we see them joining in. And they actually kind of start to save Tunisia. Their full forces aren't there yet, but they do something. Meanwhile, in Morocco, they push into a lot more of Western Sahara, even down into Mauritania, across into the Algerian desert, but Algeria does make progress over here in northern Morocco, taking a decent amount of land. And oh no, the French are here. They make a landing in northern Algeria, and basically Algeria is soon to die. And while the French are beating up Algeria, the Egyptians are beating up the Libyans. They capture Tripoli, the capital of Libya, and with that, all Libyan armies kind of just get destroyed, which leads to Tunisia being reset up as a country. And France is continuing to do what France does here in Libya. They meet up with Morocco, push Algeria out of Morocco, push them completely out of Tunisia, and all of northern Algeria falls. With that, Mauritania is really the only country left. This is about what the borders look like now. And it's not looking good, so Mauritania basically just says, yeah, can we stop? And Morocco says, yeah, no, you started this yourself, and now I'm going to beat you up, take your land, and you're never going to exist as an independent state again. They begin to push down the coast. And now Mauritania's really like, okay, I'll give you some land, blah, 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 just don't puppet me. And basically Morocco doesn't want to, but France says, we're stopping this war, I'm going to stop helping you. So Morocco agrees, and a peace treaty is to be made. With that, all these countries, we put them back in white, and we really see the stronger nations coming out on top here. No big surprise, but still. So let's fix up that border. It looked bad for some reason. Just clean it up a bit. Here in Morocco, their full sovereignty over Western Sahara is recognized. And let's make them some nice borders. With this, Morocco is now heavily expanded into Africa, taking it upon themselves to remove all the straight lines from the continent. Tunisia gets a bit of land here and there, but overall, this will definitely help them. Actually, no. That would be giving them Tripoli, and they can't have Libya's capital. But hey, Tunisia's expanded quite a bit. Tunisia is more than happy. And what happens to Libya, on the topic of Libya? Egypt happens. They basically just snake a bit around the coast. Honestly, could have been worse for Libya, but Egypt is definitely happy about that. And as for what happens to Algeria, French puppet. Libya, they get left alone. They lost enough land to Egypt. They do get a new pro-Egyptian government, but it's not a puppet of them. It's just like favoring the Egyptians. See, Tunisia got their land. As I said, you can't really see it here, but Algeria is now a French puppet state, which basically just gives France control of the whole country, but technically it is still sovereign. Oh my god, these Morocco borders, please look good. I've done Morocco's expansions before. Yeah, look at that. Clean borders, clean borders. Well, there's our great war of the day, and I hope you guys enjoyed, because that is the end, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.